Yo guys, what is up? This is Tom from Unreal Meta and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to show you how to add camera shakes to your sprint and also how to stop sprinting when shooting projectiles. So we go into the first person character blueprint, and the thing with the shooting projectiles is actually easy. So it's just the stop sprinting node we got on the first tutorial. So we grab it and plug it in here. So what this does is when the projectile is spawned, we will just stop sprinting. Okay, compile and save this and we can try it. So if we sprint and then shoot, we stop sprinting. Yeah, okay. And the next thing would be to add a camera shake, and this is a little bit more complicated. So let's go ahead and add a new variable and call this isSprinting, and this has to be a boolean. And now we can get this, and we need a set isSprinting, and also let's duplicate that for the stop sprinting, and we need to mark this little checkbox, and this should be fine. Now let's grab this and search for timeline, add timeline, and let's just call the sprinting timeline like that. And now we need to plug this into the reverse, and let's double click on the timeline and go into that. And we have to set a length of 0.5, add a new function, and this will be called sprinting shake, or just how you like it. Okay, and now right click and add a point, and this time will be 0 and the value will be 0.2. So it's at 0.0, and then we add another key and the time will be 0.5, like it's the length of our function, and the value will be 1. Okay, so we have this graph. Okay, and we are actually ready here. Let's compile and save this and go into this folder. And now we need to create a new blueprint class. So let's search for camera shake and select this matinee camera shake. Okay, and let's call this sprint shake. Okay, like this. And let's go into that, save this, and you should get a menu like this. Now we need to set some values. So for the oscillation duration, let's set -0.2. Okay, and then let's go to the rotation oscillation pitch, and the frequency will be 10 and the amplitude will be 0.18, like this. Then compile and save it. And we are done with this. So let's close this window, go back into the first person character, and we need a new custom event like this. And let's call this sprinting cam shake. So this will be our whole function to trigger the camera shake. And we start with a branch like this. And then we need the character movement, and let's search for velocity. And then we need to scroll down and get this velocity from here. And from here, a vector length. Then we need a greater than the walking speed. So get a float greater than float. And now we need our walking speed. Get walking speed, and then we need a plus, so this addition, and let's set a value of 50, and this will be plugged into this value. Okay, and now this goes into the condition, and we need another branch because we need to check if the character is sprinting. So let's get the sprinting. First we have a branch that checks if the condition is true, that the walking speed is greater than 50, and then there will be another branch that checks if the character is actually sprinting, so we have no errors. And then we need another branch with a new variable that is called camera shaking, and let's get this. get camera shaking, and this will be plugged into the condition. And if the character is actually sprinting, we check if the camera is already shaking. So let's grab this and drag it down a bit like that. And we need to search for get player camera manager, and we get this little node. Okay, and now we go out from this node and search for start camera shake. And now we check the condition if the camera is already shaking, and it's not, because we need to play the camera shake. So we get the false output and plug it into the start camera shake input. Now I will shortly describe what all this does. So what I've already said is it will check if the walking speed is greater than 50. If this is true, it will check if it's sprinting. If this is true, it will check if the camera is shaking, but it's not. So we start to play the camera shake. And now we need to select our class, and this will be the sprint shake we did earlier. And for the scale, we will assign a new variable. So let's call this camera shake scale, and this has to be a float variable. And let's get the camera shake scale and plug it in. Okay, fine. You have to set the camera shake scale to 1. Don't forget this, guys. And now we go out from the return value and promote this to a variable, and let's call this camera shake instance, like that. And then we need this camera shaking, and this checkbox will be marked again. Now the camera would shake the whole time, and we don't want this. So let's get another branch. And if this is false, so if the walking speed is not greater than 50, then we get this branch. From here we get this camera shaking again. This will be plugged into the condition. And then we need the get player camera manager, and we stop the camera shake. Okay. And if the camera is still shaking when we walk, this will be just stopped. And now let's get the instance from earlier and plug this into the shake instance. And again, we need the camera shaking, but we will not mark this checkbox now. And now we need to go to this movement input section. It's just here. And we just search for sequence like that. And then we get this add movement input into the sequence. And also let's do this with this add movement input. So this is for moving forward, and this is the input axis move right. And now we need the sprinting cam shake we did earlier. So it's this whole custom event here. And 0 is false and 1 is true. So what this does is when we move to right or left, then the sprinting is false, so we get no sprinting. And if we move forward, we get sprinting. Now let's compile and save this again. Okay guys, so now you can hit play, and let's press F11. And now if we sprint, you can see we get this heavy camera shake. Of course, you can adjust this. And yeah, I hope you liked this video. If yes, then please leave a thumbs up. If no, leave thumbs down. I'll see you next time, and bye.